This is a new series I'm starting on my YouTube channel, okay? And it's going through the Virtual Pilot's Life project as if I was the student, okay? So I've just received my ground school pack, okay? So I'm going to go through this, and in the next video... Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Adam, and I want to share something with you that I've been working on for, gosh, near enough 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in May. I mean, just saying that is like, wow. It's my Virtual Pilot's Life project. Many of you already know about it and have seen it and are probably in the Facebook page here, which if you want to come and join, you're more than welcome to. It's a public group. Now, the career mode to this, I'm going to be letting other people use in May. You know, I've got to test it out to make sure it's kosher. Ground school is open to anybody. You can go through it yourself if you want. I'll get to that in a second. And flight school is now open. But I really created this for myself back in 2018. I think it was like May of 2018. I just started doing YouTube flight sim videos, and I didn't want to do videos that everyone else was doing, you know? I wanted to do something different. So I sort of started to watch other streamers and other YouTubers to get a flavor of what content was already out there so I could avoid that. You know, I don't want to be doing videos of 737 flights if everybody's doing that, because it's like, why would anybody want to watch me do it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, who am I? So it's like, I'll do this aircraft then instead, you know? So as I was watching other streamers and getting involved in the chat, there was a bit of a common thread between a few people where everybody was crying out for some sort of career mode to flight simulation. X-Plane, P3D did not have any type of career mode that you could play through. This was before Simbit World released their Pilot's Life. FSX really was the only career mode-ish type of thing, and it really wasn't a career mode. It was just a flight school missions sort of thing that you could do. And I think there were apps that you could buy that would sort of put you through some sort of virtual airlines. And of course you have virtual airlines as well. I think Cargo Hauler or Air Hauler or something like that is the app that I'm thinking of. But there was obviously virtual airlines that put you through a career mode. But there was nothing directly linked to the P3D and X-Plane flight sims, or there was nothing that you could utilize on your own without having to buy something first to create some sort of career ladder to captain. And I think a lot of people were crying out for it. And I know Matt Davies, who's a famous streamer in the flight sim world, he had sort of teased the idea of, in his Project Fly app that he was creating, or he'd created, that there would eventually be a career mode attached to the latest version. I started to work on for myself a career mode type of thing, and I thought, well, let's start at the beginning and let's do a flight school first, because that would come before your career. You know, you'd have flight school and then go on to your career. And as I started to create this flight school, and I started mentioning it here and there, people were going, oh yeah, could I do that please? That sounds like fun. And I never thought about sharing it with the public. This was purely just for me, because I wanted to learn how to fly a plane according to, you know, the PPL, you know, and that's why I really created it in the first place. But people were saying, can I try this? That sounds like fun. So I thought, well, okay, let's do this properly then. Let's create a base of operations first, like ground school, and then move them on to flight school. And then eventually, by the time they've gotten to flight school, I'll have created a career mode of some sorts, and they can then move on to that. And I didn't know really how I was going to do it. I created the ground school first, and I wanted everybody to be on the same level, okay, as everyone else. So if you've just come into flight sim, or if you've been in it for 20 years, you're going to have the same starting off point in flight school, you know. So the ground school was really a collective knowledge base from 20 plus years of flight simming from a lot of other people, you know, and just collected in one location. And that's what ground school purely is. And I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, so, and then I created this Facebook page, as you can see here, Virtual Pilot's Life Project. When I created it back in May, as I say, A Pilot's Life had not come out yet. So I actually had sort of given the name of my project A Pilot's Life, because that's what I was creating. And then a couple of months after I started work on it, Simbit World launched their A Pilot's Life app. And I'm like, oh no, man, I can't call this anymore A Pilot's Life. I'm gonna have to call it something else. So I just called it a Virtual Pilot's Life Project, you know. And that's kind of what it got dubbed, until I created this Facebook page, which obviously I kept that name, but inside the Facebook group, I always called it the Virtual Pilot's Life Program, because it was kind of like a course that you go through, you know, with flight school, and then you graduate and go on to do the career mode. But that title was confusing a lot of people. It had some sort of, people thought it had an executable installation program attached to it, and it didn't, you know. So basically I changed it back to like project, and that's it. That's what it's called now. If what I'm saying is something that you're perhaps a little bit interested in, a bit curious about, if you go to Facebook, you can join the Facebook page, Virtual Pilot's Life Project. It's an open public group. You just got to answer a couple of questions and you're in. And if you scroll down, you'll eventually see a place where you can actually sign up. Where is it? Here it is, Ground School. So you can sign up here through it, right? Click the link and it'll take you to this page here. Now, pause that. Basically, I talk through what a Virtual Pilot Life program, as you can see, I need to rename that the project. I talk through what it is, right? But you can skip this video if you don't want to hear me ramble. Literally, just click that, okay? And it'll send you to this page here. Right, Ground School, and you're already now inside my website. You've bypassed the security on the front gate and you're in through the back door. Okay, all you got to do is, you know, sign up to Ground School. Right, it's signing up basically to more information. Now you can watch this video, it explains a little bit more about Ground School, and then all you have to do is sign up. Now I'm going to sign up with an email address created just for this, so I could actually show you how to do it. Get rid of the pop-up and then tick that, and that's just to say you agree to receiving stuff from me, not third parties though. I don't hand out details to anybody. And then you join Ground School. Now when you join Ground School, it's going to take you to the bookshop page. Just scroll right down to the bottom and download this PDF file. Okay, when you download it, it's basically a background history for what the Virtual Pilot's Life will become for you on your journey to the career mode. Okay, so it sort of lays out the 3 phases. Okay, Ground School, Flight School, and career mode. Okay, at the end of this PDF, it will have an email address, okay, that you need to contact in order to ask for your initial Ground School flight bag and register for Ground School. Now, registration only happens, like I send out the emails for people to register at the beginning of every month, okay? So you probably won't hear anything back if you've contacted me on like the 5th of the month or even the 2nd of the month. You won't hear anything back until the 1st of the following month, because registration is a monthly thing. I can only get so many people into the program or the project each month, and so it's a monthly registration sign up thing. So the email address is somewhere within this document. Read this. It's basically what's going to happen to you in the next project, right? And if we clear out of this, you will get in the email a Ground School sign up, okay? And it's basically an easy readme telling you what you need to do, a cover letter for when you complete Ground School, but not before, and it explains that in the cover letter, and then of course your Ground School pack. Now once you get this, just do what it says in the pack. Okay, it's all self-contained, it's very easy. It's basically a knowledge base. Okay, so if you've been doing this for 15 years plus, or if you've just entered doing this in the last 5 years, or you're brand new, it's basically a knowledge base, so everybody is on the same level of knowledge about their PC, the flight sim, and sort of how to approach flight simulation in the modern day. You know, hopefully it'll get past all this, oh, I don't know how to do this on that, how do I get my computer and blah, blah, blah. You will have a code word that you have to grab in order to proceed onto flight school, and you have to send that code word back to me. Once I get that code word, I know you have correctly done ground school. As soon as I give you a pack, a flight bag pack, it's encoded and it's linked to that individual email address. So if anybody starts giving things out, I'll know exactly who to turn to, and then they will be out of the project. So once you get your ground school and you send that code word back, you will then get you then have to register for flight school. Same principle. In fact, the letter that you use to sign up to flight school is this letter here in your ground school bag. Okay, you only obviously look at this once you've finished ground school and you've given me that code word, and then you'll register, and again on the 1st of the month you will get back your flight bag for flight school. And again, it's got a readme in there, and you look through it, and then it's got your flight bag, and you'll look inside this, and again, it's all self-contained. It sends you to the location of where you start your training with a flight school instructor in flight simulation. Basically, it teaches you how to pass your private pilot's license, your instrument rating license, your cargo license, which is a completely virtual made-up one that I created just for this project. It teaches you how to pass your virtual commercial pilot's license, as well as your virtual air transport pilot's license. And I must stress, everything in this is virtual, not for real life. It's just, you know, simulation only. And you'll go through the lessons, you'll go through your courses, you'll get certificates. By the time you finish your flight school, I tell you, if you start it now, by the time you finish it, career mode will be available. That's going to happen in May. And in the next video, I'm going to start doing what flight school says. Now, you won't actually see me doing it because obviously I can't show on YouTube what I'm actually doing for flight school. Otherwise, what's the point of even having it for other people when they can just watch my video? But every now and again, I'll do a flight, and it will be linked to the flight school. You know, like my first solo flight. The stats on this plane will start to go up as if I really was going through flight school, because this is the plane I'll use for flight school. So every time I go up in the sky, this will be linked, and you'll start to see the bookings, you know, go through for the logbook, you know. And this person here, virtual pilot, this will start to gain the stats as if I was going through the flight school. So by the time I get to the career mode, you know, I will start career mode, and I will actually do career mode live on YouTube. Like, you will see everything that's in career mode. Okay. So saying all that, thanks for watching this. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask down below in the comment section. And I've got to go do ground school now and start my flight school training. Take care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.